4, 3. All right. Welcome back to How to Start a Successful Law Firm. Before we get any further into this, I would be remiss if I did not introduce my co-host, Tanya fucking Music. Sometimes also referred to. You have a longer title than that. Like, you know these people with like the long title?
Yeah.
That's you.
Tanya fucking Music. It's not that long a
I'd be
title.
remiss if I didn't introduce you to Tanya fucking Music.
I don't know what
you keep jumping in before your title and introduction is complete. How is everyone supposed to know about all your credentials and all your qualifications and all of your amazingness if you don't let me give the complete fucking title?
Go.
All right, Tanya. Here's someone named Tanya. Tanya, introduce yourself. That better?
No, I want to know what you had to say now. But
now we're losing the audience. The audience doesn't care.
Okay, I got it.
The audience only wants to know about one thing, Tanya.
What I can do to help them.
That's what they want to know. They want to know, what can you do to help me start and have a more successful law firm? So why don't we just say that? Hi, my name is Tanya, or Bob, or whatever. You don't really care. Here's what I can do to help you start a more successful law firm so that you can look your family in the eye and say, I've got this under control. You don't have to worry. I'm not making a colossal mistake by starting my own law firm. I'm not going to fuck everything up. You can trust me. I have a plan. I'm going to follow a proven system. I'm not like one of these fucking idiots who think that just because I went to law school, I necessarily am qualified to perform brain surgery or fly an airplane or, a whole bunch of other things that we ought to be smart enough to know that even though we're smart and brilliant and qualified in one area of life, it doesn't mean that we know enough about every area of life to do everything ourselves. So Tanya, how can you help me start a more successful law firm so I don't fuck it all up and so that I can say with integrity to my family, I've got a plan and I'm getting the help that I need and everything will not be perfect because I'm not going to lie to my family. Because only a liar says to their family, everything's going to be perfect, right?
Yep.
But it's going to be good because I got Tanya fucking Music and her team at How to Manage a Small Law Firm helping me. Tanya, what can you do to help me? What can you do to help me?
I can help you figure out exactly what it is you need to be doing to achieve the goals that you and your family agreed on. That's what I can help you do. I can help you avoid all the freaking pitfalls that I made when I opened my first business and my second and my third. And I can help you figure out how to create a plan that's going to get you there. And
Tanya, could you also share a proven system that hundreds and 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 hundreds, and I'm not exaggerating here, of lawyers have used to start and grow successful law firms? Could you share such a thing with me if it were to exist?
It does exist, and I can share it with you 100%.
Okay. Tanya, could you also introduce me to hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of owners of successful law firms in every different practice area from all over life who could help me think through each and every one of my excuses and fears and delays and stories and all my bullshit? Could you introduce me to someone who lives in the same kind of city or town that I live in, who practices in the same area of law that I practice in, who has been practicing for around the same number of years that I've been practicing, someone who looks like me, someone who sounds like me, someone who likes the same kind of ice cream that I do. I mean, how specific can you get in helping to introduce me to people who have started and grown and now run a successful law firm? How specific can you seriously dial this in for me?
I mean, I don't know about ice cream, but I can get pretty specific. Here's the thing, though. They don't have to live exactly where you live or do the same practice area you do for them to be able to go through the same experience. But we have members in every state. We have members in Canada. We have members in other countries. We have members who do every type of law. I mean, we've done mold remediation and the Baker's Act. We have members in big cities and places like Casper, Wyoming, which is like
I was at a workshop one time, at a trade show one time.
Yeah.
I don't remember the trade show. I know it was in Chicago. And we had about half a dozen of our actual real live members who volunteered to help work the booth. We didn't pay them to work the booth. They volunteered to come out and help work the booth. And they were wearing their How to Manage Small Law Firm shirts, and they're working the booth. And there's like 6 of them. And anyway, there was like 6 or 8 of us walking around the booth. And I'm talking to this guy about starting his own law firm. He's like, well, you know, I don't really know if this is going to work for me because I have a whatever the practice area was. And it just so happened that I happen to know that one of the people in the booth had the same practice area that he does. And so if I could introduce you to someone who has the same practice area as you, we could cut the bullshit and you could just get started with this thing that comes with a 100% money back guarantee. I mean, look, when someone offers you something that's got a big risk and maybe not a big upside reward, you need to research the shit out of it. You need to conduct tons of due diligence. You need to analyze it to death because the risk is high and the upside maybe is low. But when someone gives you an opportunity where the upside is really high and there is zero risk, I mean, anyway, so he's like, well, yeah, you know, if you could get someone who could talk to me, who has a law firm that practices in this area of law. And I said, okay. And how old are you? And he told me how old he was. And I said, what if I could get you someone who practices in that area of law, who happens to be that around that same age? And we got like really, really, really micro specific. And I just happened to know because I could look at the guy so I could estimate, you know, I could estimate his age. It's things I could kind of guess about him. He had a wedding ring. I knew he was married, right? So I kind of figured out. Anyway, long story short, I'm like, well, let me introduce you to, I forgot the member, but we had, and I'm like, how old are you? What area of practice are you in? Are you married or single? Do you have kids? How old are your kids? And it was like almost an avatar, a complete match. And Will, yes, what would you guess the prospective new member, the lawyer who said, I'm desperate. I gotta leave my job. I can't keep working in this firm anymore. I want to start my own law firm, but I'm afraid because I'm leaving a 6-figure salary. And, you know, I'm recently married and we just had a baby and I can't fuck this up. And I got a lot riding on this. And I said to him, okay, we got a program that helps lawyers start successful law firms in 90 days or less. And by successful law firm, I mean, it's going to serve you financially. It's going to put you on track to replace your income, if not increase your income. It's going to serve you personally. So you're not going to have to work crazy hours. You can spend time with your family, and it's going to serve you professionally so that you can, you know, feel good about the positive impact your business is having in the world. And it comes with a 100% money back guarantee. And I can introduce you to someone who is got the same practice area that you have, who started a firm with us, and now 3 years later is like crushing it. Same age, like as almost the same as same can be. Yeah. And I then happen to produce such a person, almost like magic. Bing. Like, don't ask a question you don't already know the answer to. I already knew I had the answer. What do you imagine? What do you think this lawyer did with the microphone?
Did he give you an objection?
No, we're having this conversation, and he's telling, we're at the trade show. There's a booth.
Yeah.
I'm standing in the aisle in front of the booth.
Yes.
I'm talking to this guy. We strike up a conversation, obviously about growing a law firm.
Yes.
But he says, I don't have a law firm yet, but I want to start a law firm. And I said, oh, we have a program. This is back when we used to run the How to Start a Successful Law Firm program. And I said, we have a program called How to Start a Successful Law Firm in 90 days or less, comes with 100% money back guarantee. And it sounds like blah, 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 blah would help you.
Yes.
He's like, well, I don't really know because I got a unique practice area. Well, I don't really know because, I got a job. I'm afraid to leave. And he's like, and I said to him, I'm not going to repeat myself.
Yeah.
What if I could? What if I could? What if I could? Would you be interested? Are you following along with the
Yep.
conversation?
Yep.
And he said, yeah, well, I would like to talk to that kind of a person if you could produce it. Little did he know, the only reason I was asking him these questions is because I knew I had this person standing like right there, one of our members.
Yes.
And I said, well, you're in luck because I have such a person and I will introduce him to you right now. And I forgot the member's name, but I said, member's name, we'll pretend like the member's name is Justin. Justin,
Yes.
would you join me for a moment? And Justin stepped right up. And I said, Justin, how old are you? Said his age, same age. What's your practice area? Same practice area. Are you married? I mean, it was the same. How long ago did you start your own law firm? 3 years ago. What were you doing before? It's like he had the same kind of a job. He was making the same kind of money. He had the same kind of reasons. Because I just had dinner with everyone who helped us work the booth. I knew their whole story. And how much are you earning now? And what's life like now? And Justin tells his great story about how great things are. Yeah.
Yes.
And you're a real live lawyer, right? Yeah. And you actually are licensed. Yeah. And you're not an actor, right? No. And I'm not paying you to say this anything. Are you? Am I? And he's like, well, you bought dinner.
Yes.
And I introduced this lawyer who said he really wanted to start his own law firm. He was planning. That's why he was at the, I think it was the Solo Small Law Firm Conference or something like that.
Okay.
That of the ABA. That's why I'm here. And I'm asking you, what do you think he said when I gave him exactly what he said he was looking for?
I would assume either an excuse
With the microphone.
Got it. I would say either an excuse, an objection. I don't have the time. Got to go. This is not going to work for me. One of those things. What did he say?
This is why you still don't understand me. Now I'm beginning to understand why you still don't understand me. All right, come on up. Keep the microphone with you. You go over there. You're me. I'm him. And we'll say the painting is the other lawyer.
Yes.
I'm him.
Yes.
And I said all these things.
Yes.
You know what he did?
What do you do? Walked away.
Turned his back on me and walked away. That's what they do. Kick you in the nuts. That's what they do when you try to help them when they don't want to be helped.
Can't
When
help
they
somebody
don't-
that doesn't want to be helped.
You can't help someone who doesn't want to be helped.
Yes.
All right. You're all here because you want to be helped. And Tanya fucking Music can help you.
And
And
Arjun,
she's the person who can help you. I just want to say we have about 130 full-time employees. We have an amazing team of CEOs and COOs and CFOs and CMOs. We got about 30 chief executive level people who help the 500 law firms that we currently manage, and an amazing team. I just got to give credit where credit is due, because if it wasn't for the team, I mean, there's a lot of people. There's 4 people behind the camera in the room, and a bunch of people not in the room who are making this whole thing happen. It's important to have a great team around you, and I want to give credit where credit is due. So Tanya, briefly now, because we're tired of hearing about you. We're talking about you for how long?
14 years.
We've been talking about you for 14 minutes, Tanya. Now, tell us about yourself.
I don't even know what else to say because you've said so much. So at How to Manage, one of the things that I do now is really stay in touch with the members, figure out what's going on. I have worked with hundreds and hundreds of members, and so that's what I do. I make sure that you have what you need to be successful. I make sure that whatever bullshit's going on in your head that made that guy turn around and walk away from our John, we deal with it so that you can actually achieve what you want. And yeah, it's pretty awesome. That's what I do.
Tanya, your full-time job at How to Manage a Small Law Firm is making sure that each of our members is making trackable, measurable, tangible, real progress toward their financial goals, toward their personal goals, and toward their professional goals. Yes or no?
Yes,
That's like your main job.
that is my main job.
And then if you find that someone is struggling and they're not making the progress that we expect all of our members to make towards their goals, you basically go find out why not and make sure that we get them the resources they need to make progress towards their goals.
100%.
We need a better job description or a title. Anyway, that's Tanya, and she's my co-host for this live stream podcast webinar
Thank you.
thing.
This thingamabobber.
This thing we're doing.
It's conversation.
It's conversation. Did you listen to that song?
I did not listen to that song.
Dude, we might have to take a little break and listen to that song.
No, we want to keep the viewers.
No, the viewers would like that song. The viewers have good taste. The viewers
wouldn't like that song. Mark Zuckerberg would take us down if we played that song.
viewers would like that song, and Mark Zuckerberg would love the way I treat that song.
And, you know,
Give me my
one of the things we'll be teaching everybody is how to hire a team that protects you from yourself.
They're over there.
Yeah, but that's
They're right in
tomorrow.
front of me. You see?
That's tomorrow.
That's why he's called Brad. All right. All right. So today we are, in all seriousness, today we are talking about a very important foundational aspect for starting a successful law firm. On Friday, I guess it was, or Thursday. The last time we were here, last week, we talked about planting a seed. And if you plant this seed in fertile soil, it can grow and turn into an oak tree that will help you with your marketing and help you with your sales and help you with your intake and help you with your recruiting when the time comes to recruit. It's going to help you lead your team more effectively when the time comes for you to begin to staff up. It will help you with every part of your law firm. The seed we talked about on Thursday will help you. Today, we are talking about a foundation. I'm changing the analogy up. This is the foundation. Last week was the seed that you plant to grow the oak tree. Now we're talking about a foundation that you'll use to build the mechanical parts of your law firm on top of. And we're going to build the whole law firm off of this one idea. If you don't get this idea right, you're liable to waste, and I'm not exaggerating when I say this, you're liable to waste, for real, the rest of your life chasing and running and chasing and never really accomplish anything. If you get this right, it will give you freedom. It will help you build real wealth in your business, and it will give you real freedom and peace of mind. Justin, make a note for future reference that the phone, the device that we're using to record, it's reflecting back on me, and I'm seeing my hands and my button and my shirt, and it's distracting the shit out of me.
Okay.
So don't worry about it for right now, because I'm a professional. I'll live with it. But for tomorrow, make a note of that.
Will do.
Okay.
Mhm.
Seems like a little minor thing until you start doing this, and it's driving me a little crazy. All right. Brad, if you think you're going to solve the problem, you're not.
Not right now.
He's going to get a piece of aluminum foil. So
To put around my head.
put on the back of it.
Little tinfoil hat.
For the camera, not for him.
Not gonna. It's okay. I'll live with it. Anything you do is just going to be painful to watch you try to do it, and then it's not
Oh
going to
my-
work anyway.
He's going to be crinkling the tinfoil.
Yeah,
You would
without fucking up. I mean, they spent like an hour getting the thing just right, and then you're going to come and like throw something over it to avoid, and it's not going to work anyway. So
for tomorrow, I'm just gonna pour that stuff right.
just, I can live with it.
Okay,
Okay.
so Arjan, come back
So
to
today
what
we're
is
teaching-
this big
listen.
thing?
Tanya, what?
Come back to what is this big thing that we're talking about today?
Today we're going to talk about how to set real goals. And before you turn off your whatever you're watching this on, please listen to me. This is the foundational problem that creates all kinds of other problems. This problem, it cascades into marketing problems. It cascades into sales problems. It cascades into staffing problems. It cascades into marital problems if you don't get this straight. And I'm going to show you. I'm going to show you like a magic trick that if you get this right, it brings clarity to your marketing. It brings clarity to your staffing plans. It brings clarity to your recruiting. It brings clarity to the systems and the procedures that you're going to invest in. It brings clarity to your calendar. It brings so much clarity to so many parts of your business if you take goal setting seriously and don't treat it the way that unfortunately most entrepreneurs treat goal setting, which is why they struggle so much. There's a reason why the majority of law firms that start, they also stall out. And yours doesn't have to be one of the majority. You don't have to be like everyone else whose law firm starts and then stalls out. I'm not saying it crashes and burns and you end up living under a bridge. That doesn't really happen almost hardly ever. More what happens, because you got to remember, law firms are so ridiculously simple to run. And they're so very, very profitable that even when you run them very, very badly, you still live pretty well. But I don't want you to live pretty well. I want you to be able to live great. And to do that, we just have to show you how to run your law firm the right way. All right. So I'm going to show you how to do that. But first, we are going to interview our guests who were nice enough to take time out of their day. Are we ready to go with our guests?
Yeah.
Huh. I feel like there was something I was supposed to talk about.
Maybe Marjorie can answer, and that'll inspire you.
Maybe Marjorie could read Will's mind and then tell us what Will wanted us to talk about. But apparently Will is too shy.
To write it on your notebook?
That's right.
In front of you?
That's a coward's way out. I'm going to write it down and then hide out in the back.
I wrote it down in big Sharpie.
Oh, he even put
I put little
two
stars.
cute little gold stars.
Marjorie's read that.
How old is Renee?
4.
Yeah, like a 4-year-old girl. He put like 2 little gold stars.
Hey, whatever it takes to keep you motivated, Arjan.
But it didn't work. This is the point. All right. Marjorie, see, you missed your
Hi.
chance again. Pause right there. I keep pausing, waiting. I keep pausing, waiting for Will to jump in, and he doesn't
I'm
jump
trying not
in.
to interrupt. I'm trying not to interrupt. I'm trying to change that. I interrupt all the time. I'm Marjorie DeLima with
And
Fate.
Will doesn't interrupt enough.
Well, you just interrupted me. With Fate.
I
and
didn't say
DeLima.
I don't have a problem interrupting. You and me are good. We're good at interrupting. Will is like quiet and demure.
Arjan.
Too late.
Arjan.
Me and
It's not
Marjorie-
too late. It's not too late. Arjan, before we go any further,
First, I want to know, Marjorie, how much will your law firm gross this year?
This year, 2.6 million.
And when did you start your law firm?
Well, I started as a solo practitioner in 1996, and I didn't realize it was a business. And what I've learned from HTM, I wish to God I had been in sooner. I don't think HTM existed in 1996, but
It did not.
no, I'm a little bit older than you are, John. But man, I did everything against running a business. I thought, well, I'll just work harder, get clients, and I joined a firm that I now own. And that was our system was let's do what feels right. No required billable hours. Let's just keep bringing in clients, just not really marketing. And we stayed the same for 19, 20 years until I joined HTM.
That's what I mean, by the way, everyone, when I say you start your firm and it kind of
doesn't go anywhere. I mean, it just stays the
goes
same.
flat.
Yeah. And it was flat for 20 years.
What were the gross revenues the year before you began working with How to Manage a Small Law Firm?
800,000. That was
And
in
when was
COVID.
that?
And the year
That was
before.
during COVID, 2020?
Yeah.
Okay, so 2020, 800,000. And then 21, here, I'm going to do this over here. Can they see this?
Yes, they can.
Yeah. I'm
So-
gonna move the Instagram one.
so- 2019 was around 800,000.
Yeah. And I took the path of slow growth, but growing.
2020 was around 800,000.
2021 was $1 million. Let me make sure I have it
2021
right.
was,
1 million.
it wasn't $1 million even, was it?
No, I can look real quick.
No, but I just want to make sure
yeah.
everyone understands that when we say $1
No,
million,
it was
we
around
mean
$1
it
million.
was $1 million and something.
Yeah, it could have been 1.1, but it was not more than that.
Okay.
And then in 22, I did 1.3. I was still growing slowly. I'll just tell you this. I
You
wasn't,
understand that? Hold on, Marjorie.
yeah.
I have to just tell you how much I love the fact that in our world,
1.3 is like
1 million to 1,000,003 is I was still growing slowly. I love
Yeah.
that.
Yeah,
Only 30%.
I guess. Yeah.
The thing is, what you have to understand, Will, that little act that I was doing, the reenactment that I did earlier about the trade shows, I cannot tell you. I went on the national CLE speaking tour. Microsoft, LexisNexis, LawPay, and Ruby Receptionist, which changed their name. They sponsored the national CLE speaking tour. And I went all over the country in part of 2011, 12, no, part of 2010, all of 2011, 2012. I think it went into part of 2013, but for 3 or 4 years, I was on the road on the national CLE speaking tour. And I was in front of, sometimes I was in front of hundreds, sometimes I was in front of just a dozen law firm owners who aggressively did not want to hear what I had to say.
Right.
Okay?
Yep.
And they wrote things that were libel and slanderous on the comment cards. They literally said lies. These are fucking lawyers speaking about another lawyer. These are fucking human beings speaking about another human being. And they're literally telling blatant lies on the comment cards. I would go to the CLE directors and I say, hey, we need to get reimbursed for all of our expenses, blah, 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 afterwards. And like, well, we're not gonna pay you. Why not? Here's a contract.
Yeah.
Well, because some of the people on the comment cards said blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, I understand that some of the people on the comment cards rated this like a 0 and said that I was the devil incarnate and that I said things that were illegal and unethical and violated bar rules. I understand that. But I look at the comment cards, and there's also people who gave this a 5 out of 5 and said, this is the best CLE I've ever been to in my life, and everyone needs to get this information. And thank you to the Bar Association for bringing us in. Who are you going to listen to?
Right.
Well, they said that you said things that, that were unethical and illegal. And I said, hey, listen, fortunately, you don't have to take my word for it because we have a camera. We recorded the whole thing. Let's look at the transcript, review the thing. These are various serious allegations. If, in fact, I said anything that was illegal, if I said anything that was unethical or unprofessional, number one, I will personally apologize to the audience because that's not acceptable. I shouldn't be saying things that are unethical or giving advice that is illegal or telling them to do things that violate the bar rules of professionalism. Obviously, I need to apologize. Maybe I did it by accident. Maybe I had a fucking stroke and I lost my mind for a little while back there. And number two, of course you don't have to pay me if I said something that was illegal or violated the bar rules.
Right.
And you know what they would say?
What?
With the microphone. Do you have the microphone?
I have it right here.
What do you think they said? What would be the most outrageous thing that would just blow your mind for a person who works for a bar association who signed a contract
We can't have you back?
what would be the most outrageous thing for you to imagine them saying when half the reviews were like 1, I'm the worst, and half the reviews are like 5, this was the best, and some of the worsts said that I said things that were illegal and unethical, and we have a recording of it. And people are making these pretty serious allegations. What would be the most unprofessional, unethical, cowardly, shitty? It would just blow your fucking mind for them to say to you about what they're going to do.
Fire you.
I don't think that he even wanted to watch the video. He just wanted to take everyone's word for it because he's lazy.
But if you're going to take everyone's word for it, why not take the word for it from the people who gave it a 5 and said it was the best? Why only take the word for it for the people who said it's the worst?
Say it again.
Because they're the squeaky wheel?
Okay.
Yeah. Because the stuff you were teaching.
Are you going to get into trouble? If you burn your bridges with me by not honoring your contractual obligations and not having the professionalism or the decency to check the tape to see what was really said when it was a professional. I mean, this is something that's like an allegation that was made that was very, very bad.
Right.
Saying that I'm a lawyer, I'm a licensed attorney, to say that a licensed attorney advised you to do something that was illegal,
Yes.
saying that a licensed attorney told you to do something that was unethical, saying that a licensed attorney advised you to do something that violated the bar rules. That's a pretty serious fucking allegation.
Yes. At least check the tape to verify.
And instead, what do you know they did?
Took their word for it.
But if you're going to take the word for it of the person who says the bad thing, this is red. Red, can you see red?
Yep.
Red says Arjan is the worst. Half the audience were red.
Yep.
Green. Green says this was the best CLE I've ever been to. Thank you for bringing this. I wish I had seen this CLE 10 years ago, 20 years ago. It would have changed my life for the better.
Yes.
when you're the bar official and you take the word of red, what are you really saying?
You're taking the easy way out. I don't know. You care more about what
You're
they,
saying you don't believe green.
yeah.
You're saying, Arjon, we don't believe you. We don't give a shit about you. We could wipe our ass with you and throw you away. You're garbage to us. We never want to have you back again. But you're also disrespecting everyone who said this was really great.
Right. Yes.
Do you understand how fucked up this is?
Yeah.
This, by the way, is what goes wrong in most of the sales, which we're going to talk about your sales process, the process of converting prospective clients into paying clients. We're going to talk about this red-green dilemma that law firm owners get stuck in and the problems that happen when they listen to red instead of listening to green. We're talking about that. We're talking about that
or Wednesday.
either tomorrow or Wednesday. So tune in. But today, Marjorie,
Yes.
I go back to my point. I fucking love the fact that we live in a community that we operate in a community and how to manage a small law firm in the bubble. We're saying that I was still growing slow back then, going from $1 million to $1.3 million in gross revenue. I love that. So that was 2022. What about 2023?
2023, I was a little stagnant. I went to about 1.36 or 37. I didn't really bump up in 23.
Okay. And then 2024.
24 is at 1.74. In 25, I was just over 2 million. And this is, my gross receipts were stagnant for 20 years.
Let me do some math here. $2 million. And by when I say, let me do some math here, what I mean is that someone behind the camera should have the calculator ready.
Yep.
2 million less 800,000.
1.2.
You ever watch Columbo?
Yeah.
I'm asking Justin, who's quick with the mouth.
No.
Okay.
He's too
Well,
young.
I've seen Columbo, but I don't know the story well enough to not embarrass myself when I'm about to.
Okay. So the thing that made Columbo so good was that he already knew the answer.
Yeah.
But he would let the bad guy kind of walk through the thinking in slow motion to let the bad guy come to the conclusion on his own that he was fucked. Are you getting what I'm saying?
100%.
Okay. So can I mean, I'm not great at math. This is true. That's well known. But can I say 2 million minus 800,000 is 1.2 in my head?
Yeah.
Yes, I can
Yeah,
do
I
that.
think you're
So
safe.
what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to do this in slow motion so that all the lawyers who thought to themselves, I can't ever possibly become financially literate and learn that and discover that lawyers are better than accountants at analyzing financial statements. Yes, lawyers are better than accountants at analyzing financial statements. We as lawyers know more and are better at extracting really valuable information out of and insights out of our financial statements than accountants. You can become financially literate, not despite the fact that you went to law school, precisely because you went to law school, that you can be so fucking brilliant at being financially literate. But Justin, you see, the problem is they're all scared shitless.
Well, I was gonna say, where do you think that belief comes from?
Well, because most people went to law school because they weren't good with math. And most people learned or were exposed to bookkeeping and financial literacy concepts by accountants who taught financial analysis a certain way,
Got it.
but not the only way. Did you or did you not read Zen and the Art of Motorcycle Maintenance like I told you to?
I have it. It's on the list.
But you haven't read it. Ren, Zen, and the Art of Motorcycle Maintenance, please raise your hand, speak up. I need an assist. But I'm not going to get distracted here. I'm going to say 2 million minus 800,000 is $1,200,000. $1,200,000 divided by $800,000. This I cannot do in my head. Is how much?
1.5.
Is 1.5 times 100 is how much?
150.
No, it's not.
15.
1,500% growth. So Marjorie experienced 1,500% growth. Marjorie, your law firm grew by 1,500%.
Look, okay, 2
No.
million minus 800 is 1,200 divided
Not
by
100.
800. I mean, 1.2.
Sorry?
I'm
Oh,
doing
I'm
the
sorry.
math.
It's 150%.
150. Yeah, 150.
I
Yeah,
told
it's
you I'm not good at
150.
math.
I know. I
Didn't
was
I
like,
say I'm not good at math?
it did not grow
Listen,
by
I'm not good at
1,000%.
math, and yet somehow I'm very financially literate, and I can run fucking circles around all the CPAs and MBAs and bankers and everyone who meets with me, and I can teach you how to be very financially literate too. All right, look, I'm changing colors. Marjorie, congratulations. Your law firm grew by 150%.
So more than doubled
Yes.
over
Doubled and then half as much again.
Yeah, over 4 years being with HTM. This is my 5th year.
20 years of flat.
2020, flat. Join How to Manage During the Pandemic. Boom, 150% growth.
You need to say flat like 19, 20 times. That's
Flat,
how long it
flat. You know, it gets tedious when you hear me calling it out like this, but
I know.
imagine everyone in the audience actually living your life this way.
Yeah. My
right.
you know, my goals totally changed. I even figured out what my goals were. We didn't have goals. We didn't have a plan. We didn't have financials. Our accountant did it at the end of the year to do taxes. No clue what's going on, except is there enough money in the bank?
Marjorie, if you didn't have goals before, then how did you know every year like what you were doing? So for those 20 years before, how are you figuring out what to focus on in your priorities? Like, what was your
All we focused on was casework and getting more cases, but we also weren't marketing very much. When I started, it was illegal or it was unethical to advertise. So all we had was a website, and it was really, referrals by mouth. And then they changed that, and we could advertise and market, and we just weren't very good at it. We still had our businesses based on referrals, but we had, upgraded the website. We wrote a little book of divorce in Maryland, and we just kept staying the same. We didn't know how to grow. Let's put it that way. We didn't know that there was a way to scale up the firm until I joined HTM. And my partner at the time, who has retired, was a dinosaur and bucking me every step of the way until I came to her and showed her the numbers for 22, 23, 24 and said, okay, you think they know what they're talking about now? Your contempt without investigation is what you're doing, because it's a change. So,
right? Because people get really comfortable doing stuff the way they've always done stuff.
yeah, and
Even if they don't like the results of it, right?
I'm trying to answer these questions too. What was I going to say? Contempt before investigation, and I forgot what I was going to say. I just lost,
Listen for the opening. All right.
And my practice area is family law, and the marketing changes I made were through HTM, and I have a chief marketing officer through HTM who's phenomenal, and we're on our way to really changing up the marketing from what it was before. It was okay, but
I want to be clear. We are not a marketing agency.
No.
We're not trying to sell you marketing services. We just have a chief marketing officer. And one of the things our chief marketing officers do, one of the things that our chief marketing officers do for our members is They help you wrangle your marketing vendors to make sure your marketing vendors stop holding you hostage, stop feeding you bullshit. They help you hold your marketing vendors accountable every quarter. Marjorie,
And
so-
she's doing
so-
that. Oh my God, she's awesome.
So Marjorie, what are some things? I think we've established you're a real person. Yes.
Yeah, I'm a real person. I'm a real
Right.
badass.
And can we talk about the fact that while you are a real person and you are most definitely a serious badass, like seriously a badass,
Thank
you're
you.
also not like perfect, right? You're like imperfect,
Oh my
just like the
God,
rest of us.
I made so many mistakes. I just went through a whole thing. I have a executive I had to let go, like suing the firm, but I've learned so much. And with, I can't tell you enough about the HTM support, and especially the mindset that work that we've done with the group. It has changed my life, and it's had me look at this, you know, for all intents and purposes, the firm's never been sued, but I'm like, okay, bring it on. Cause you know, it is what it is. And it's an opportunity, because boy, did I learn a lot. Yeah. So I am not
And you're also not like a perfect human being. I mean, you have flaws and shortcomings and you've made mistakes. I hate this idea that people are like, oh, I can't start a law firm and it won't be successful because it's something that I did way in my past that no one gives a shit about anymore.
No, I was, when I entered law school, I'd been sober for about five years, 87 to 4 years. And I didn't finish college until I got sober. I graduated from college 10 years after I graduated from high school because of my, my little alcoholism issue. And I've been sober pretty much since. And so, yeah, I'm not perfect.
Yeah, I mean, I just want everyone to understand, like, you don't have to be like perfect. You don't have to walk with the angels to have a successful law firm.
No.
Magic law firm management elves don't pick the most perfect people to just reward them by coming into the law firm in the middle of the night to set up their policies and document their procedures and train their staff and control their finances. Success is an effect. It is caused by care and thoughtful attention to certain causes. If you pay attention to the causes, the effects take care of themselves. It's not because you're you could be a good person and your law firm could struggle forever. You could be not a good person and your law firm could be very successful. If you're not a good person, we don't want to help you make a successful law firm because we have a no assholes policy. But that's a different conversation. Marjorie, so here's my question. You ready?
Yeah, I have an answer. Go ahead.
Here's my big question. My big question is, what are some things that you wish someone had told you when you were starting your law firm that would have made the journey so much easier and so much less painful and so much more enjoyable? Just like, if you could go back in time, what are some things you just wish someone had told you that maybe you could pay it forward and tell everyone who is joining us on the live stream today, or maybe listen to the recording later?
Well, I don't think we have time for me to give you the whole list, but
Top three.
I started out as a solo working out of my house before, when it wasn't cool to work out of your house. And I wish at that time someone had told me that it's, in fact, my solo was actually a firm starting, and it could be a profitable business, and told me that planning mattered, and that goals mattered, and the metrics and financials mattered, and that I would make more money getting out of some casework than doing all the casework. That I needed people who were smarter and better than me in certain areas, like a COO and a CEO and a CFO and a CMO, which I now have fractional of all four. I wish someone had.
Can I just stop you for a second here?
Oh, my list isn't done, but go ahead.
Yeah, but you said something, and you said something, and there's a really important saying of like, you want to be friends with people who will defend you when you're not in the room.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I want to defend the Marjorie that I know against the thing that you just said,
Okay.
because I don't like what you just said about yourself. And I think this causes a lot of people a lot of problems to not be. You got to be. I want you to be more careful with your words.
Okay.
You said people who are smarter than me. You are extremely smart. You are, yes?
Yes. I meant who had expertise, like Rich Dad,
Thank
Poor
you.
Dad. I meant who had the expertise and experience that I don't have and maybe don't want, I'd rather have a
No, but
staff.
seriously, thank you, because I don't want people in their audience to think, because people like, well, I'm smart. I should. The problem is lawyers hear us using this language, and I can't tell you how many thousands and thousands and thousands of lawyers I've worked with over the years, and they're suffering because they won't let anyone help them because, like, well, I'm smart, therefore I should be able to. You're smart, therefore you should be able to what? Learn how to fly the plane and fly the plane? What? I'm smart, so I should be able to what? You're smart, so you should be able to, study medicine and perform surgery on your kid? No,
I'm
if
smart
you're
enough to
smart,
realize
you
I
hire
need
the right people.
Exactly. I'm smart enough to realize I need expertise to help me and support the firm. And I don't want to do it all. And I don't think I could do it all. Maybe I could, but I wouldn't get very far. And I didn't mean I'm not smart. I know I'm smart. I just don't have the expertise of the CFO. My CEO, Sully, is teaching me about being a CEO because I am the CEO I'm sole owner of my firm now. And he has extensive experience as a CEO. Same with my COO, extensive experience with operations. And I can't tell you how much I'm learning, still learning, probably learn until, I'm gone. So
I'm not learning very much about how to be a better COO because that's probably one of the last jobs that I would ever want to do.
I don't want to do that job. I meant a CEO.
That's why I have a kick-ass rock star chief operating officer.
Exactly.
So they don't have, so that my business doesn't have to crater if it depends on me to be the chief operating officer.
Right. And because I've changed the business, I was able in 24 to take a 6-week vacation, emergency contact only, to New Zealand, Australia, and Fiji, and bring my adult daughter and afford it. And then last year I took a month. I was going to take 5 weeks, but I ended up taking a month to Italy. I went by myself because my daughter was kind of we got in a lot of fights, but for a month, emergency contact only. And those were my goals.
But I mean, okay, so many people don't make that part of their goals.
When you talk about, go ahead.
When did you
ask about the daughter?
What about my daughter? Well, let me tell you something about my daughter. I'm in a program called Practical Profitable Mindset through HTM. And a couple of years ago, I came to the meeting and I had this issue with my daughter, and I was like, she was vomiting all her resentment since she was born on me. And this is a couple of years ago. And I was defending myself because I was like, that's not what I was thinking. That wasn't my intention. And Allie, Arjan's wife, who I adore, said, that's you trying to be right. You're trying to be right when you defend yourself and you're not validating just how she feels. And I would never have come to that awareness if it wasn't for that. And that I played the recording to my daughter and worked on it. And she will tell you our relationship is like 1,000% better. That's the 1,000%.
Not just 150%.
Right. It's not 150. It's 1,000 or higher. It's incredible. And that's about my daughter. But on our trip to New Zealand, Australia, she was, there was some stuff going on and she had some issues to deal with. for my divorce. So, and she's dealing with them, and it was also, double the price than me traveling alone.
This is the kind of thing. Every quarter when we get our members who come to the live quarterly meeting and people stand up and talk about the greatest successes they've had that we're all celebrating for the last 90 days. These are the kinds of things that are the best. This is the part that really frustrates the shit out of me, that more lawyers don't think about, don't talk about. They don't even know that, look, the seed that we talked about last week, the goal setting, the processes, the systems, the procedures, all the boring shit that we're talking about that go into building a law firm that works for you, is to give you the freedom to take your daughter on a 6-week trip, you said? 6 weeks?
Yeah.
On a 6-week trip to wherever you want to go and like have those memories. And while you're gone, the law firm keeps going and the law firm keeps growing and the clients keep getting served and let me ask you this, Marjorie. You were gone for 6 weeks with emergency access only, right?
Yeah, and that's the year I got a new attorney because I gave authorization to hire someone because we were looking if without me because I wanted an attorney who is excellent. And that's the year we busted through to 1.74. And I was gone for 6 weeks. And I was like, yes. Yeah. So,
Well, I mean, Marjorie, you said something earlier. It's Justin, by the way. It's kind of counterintuitive to many lawyers, which is taking yourself out of your production.
It's counterintuitive to many lawyers who have never studied the business of how the business side of a law firm works.
Yeah.
So like
Yeah.
it would be a counterintuitive for a primitive person living in a cave to flip a switch and a light goes on. That would be counterintuitive to a cave dweller.
Yeah.
It's counterintuitive to think that I have to get from point A to point B. And so I'm just going to like jump in my car, turn the key, press the button, and off I go. It would be counterintuitive to a person who has never, lived in if you took a person from 100 years ago and you put them today, it would be counterintuitive. The point I'm making is it's counterintuitive to people who have never studied the business of how a law firm works.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry. You keep fucking triggering me with this shit.
well, let me say
Go ahead,
this.
Justin.
When
I will shut up. I will shut
sorry,
up.
go ahead.
And Justin, you say what you want to say, and I will just drink my coffee.
Well, I just want Marjorie to explain in her words to attorneys that may not know this, why it's counterintuitive to step out of production can actually grow your law firm.
Because we go to law school and we work in firms or start a firm and what is how to practice law, and it's the practice of law. So you hopefully keep getting better. And and some attorney, even in HTM, they enjoy casework and they still do some casework, but it's counterintuitive to step out and say, well, I can scale this up if I'm doing marketing and numbers and plans and looking at, trends or patterns. And I'll give you an example. Right now, we're slow, and the budget we did wasn't my average case value and my average case length. It was taken over the average case value over a year instead of like 18 months, which is the average case length. And we're a little slow right now. But instead of freaking out or just waiting for something to change, I'm working with it's called C-Suite, to see where the holes are, to fix the budget, to get some more marketing going on, turn up the heat, do more sales, because it comes in when you work it, and we're just going to work it. And so we can look at patterns and everything like that, which I couldn't do when I'm stuck in casework. I don't have time for the other stuff. And the casework, I'm only one person. I can only charge so many hours, but I can facilitate like rainmaking, not stuck in casework. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it makes a lot of sense.
I'll be like, John, do you get what I'm saying?
You get what I'm saying? You picking up what I'm putting down? Yeah, I get what
pick
you're
up
saying.
what
I
I'm
want to
putting
just take it a step further, because, if you want to have a little impact if you want to have a big impact, I'm going to start this again. Are you ready for me, Justin?
Yeah.
You moving the camera.
Yeah. It's just for Instagram.
You happy?
Yeah.
All right.
It's vertical.
It's okay. You happy now?
Mhm.
All right. If you want to have a big impact, like a really big impact on a few people, practice law and do all the casework yourself. And you'll get a lot of love, and you'll get a lot of security, and you get a lot of self-esteem from doing it. But if you want to have a big impact on a lot of people, you got to build an operation. That means you got to have more than just you practicing law. If you got 3 lawyers practicing law with your policies, your systems, your procedures, to your standards, with your training, from bringing to life and expressing your values and your unique point of view through the way your law firm services its clients, regardless of practice area, you'll have a bigger impact on a lot more people. You want to have an even bigger impact, build a bigger law firm. A lot of people think like, well, I just want to practice law myself because I love helping people. Well, do you love helping people because you love the personal satisfaction you get when you help a person with their case? Or do you get a lot of satisfaction by knowing that you built a machine that helps a lot of people? And I think, Marjorie, you're beginning to experience the real satisfaction that comes from helping $2 million worth of people versus $800,000 worth of people.
Absolutely. And my goal is to help more people. And this may sound corny, but it's truly how I see it, is that, divorce and custody you get people at the worst time in their lives. It's one of the life events that totally can just tear you down, rip you apart. Anger, resentment, fear, everything. And I went through it. So I'm well aware.
Irrational decisions that you have to pay the price for the rest of your life because you made a bad decision in a moment during a divorce.
Right. And
your divorce lawyer didn't have the fucking courage to stand up to you because they were afraid of losing you as a client because their marketing fucking sucks shit and their sales suck shit and they got no fucking operating systems and no procedures and their financials are dog shit. And so they're afraid to stand up to the few clients they've got. And so they let their clients make bad decisions that the client ends up paying for the rest of their life because the lawyer didn't have the courage to stand up to them because their business didn't make them fucking financially bulletproof.
Right.
Why did that fire you up so much?
It fired me up because I've seen the effects of this. How your business functions affects your energy. It affects your mood. It affects it affects your behavior. And you bring all of that good, exciting. I feel great because my business is working for me. I feel confident. I feel good about myself because I had the courage to do the right thing. And you bring that home to your family and you're the best father, the best mother, the best husband, the best wife, the best friend, the best version of yourself. Or if your law firm runs like shit because you don't have a marketing plan and you don't know where the next client is coming from. And so the next person who comes through the door, who maybe the client is a great person, but they don't have the right case for your firm. Or maybe they've got a great case, but the client is just an asshole, but you're fucking desperate. And so you take that case or you take that client or you take that case against your better judgment. And then you're fucking miserable 6 months later and you go home and you're a shitty husband or you're a shitty wife or you're a shitty husband, father, or you're a shitty mother or whatever, because listen, I fucking stutter. Give me a fucking break. And I'm getting worked up and you get the law firm affects you as a person. it either affects you as a person because it lifts you up and you're a better version of yourself, or the law firm sends you home with negative, toxic shit that you spew on and infect your family with. And so that's why it fires me up.
And I think you need to answer this question from Tina on that note, because
She asked, which is a bigger problem, that lawyers don't know how to scale or they don't have the right mindset to scale?
Forget about fucking scaling. Let's not even talk about scaling. If you're starting a law firm, we shouldn't even be talking about scaling. If we're starting a law firm, we should be talking about getting you to a financial level where you can live the way you reasonably want to be living, not where you don't have to settle, where you don't have to compromise, where you don't have to put up with a bunch of shit. It's like, let's just get you out of the garage and onto the expressway, on cruise control, going somewhere that you want to go with a full tank and confidence that you're actually going to get to your destination. When you're starting a law firm, let's just start a law firm and make it a successful law firm. If you decide you want to scale it up and grow it even bigger, man, I would love to help you do that. That's fun. Keep in mind, $100 million law firm is still considered to be a mid-sized law firm. A $50 million law firm is still considered to be a mid-sized law firm. A $25 million law firm. You don't get to have a mid-sized law firm until at least three things are true. Gross revenues are at least $10 million, and the owners are away from the firm for 30 consecutive days with emergency access only every year. And while they're gone, each of the 7 main parts of the business can keep going and keep growing. And you can predict how profitable the firm will be to within about a 5% variance at least a year in advance. When all those things are true, congratulations, you have a mid-sized law firm. Until then, we got a long way to go to help you just build a business that gives you a spectacular and amazing life. You can be among one of the top 1% of all income earners on the planet. You can be within the top 2% of the top, you can be in the top 10% of the top 1% of all income earners on the planet, still just with a well-run small law firm. So I don't want, scaling up is like, let's scale it up. Listen, you know what? Don't even think about scaling something up until you got close to $10 million in gross revenue and a full-time CEO and a full-time COO and a full-time CFO and a full-time CMO and a really good bookkeeper. Until you've got that in place and you can be away from the firm for at least 30 consecutive days with emergency access only, let's not get distracted with scaling up. And I'm a huge fan of scaling up. I think you're not going to find a bigger fan of scaling up than me in the entire legal industry. I own the domain name, Scaling Up Your Law Firm. I own the trademark, Scaling Up Your Law Firm. If you call Vern Harnish and you say, what do you think of Arjan? You don't even have to use my last name. He's going to tell you what he thinks of me. It'll be good, by the way. I mean,
Arjan, let's bring this
I
back.
just don't want people talking about scaling up.
So
let's
Arjan,
talk about going 100 miles an hour. No,
Can I
let's
say
talk
something?
about backing out of the driveway and getting on the highway.
Can I say
Arjan,
something?
let's talk about defining a successful law firm, because we keep alluding to it. But a lot of people who are just looking to start their firm, they don't know how to define it. Marjorie, you just had a tail go across your face.
Yeah,
which
I'm
is
sorry.
awesome.
It's my assistant.
No, but you actually said for that those first,
what go across your
until you
face?
joined the manage, you didn't even know what your goals were. So how do we start to define what successful looks like before you even start a firm, or just as you start?
Well, I think it's what Arjan said, and I have to say that I am. There's a lot of people in HCM that are just starting law firms, and I am so envious that they're starting HCM with starting law firm. And I got an MBA at the same time I got my law degree. I just did extra, nights and weekends, and I. In any event, that MBA did not help me at all. The successful, first of all, each person has to define their own success, is what I believe.
Yeah.
And success for me is time and money, and employing, how do I say this? Success for me is time and money, living how I want to live, and employing people who have growth mindset, personal and professional, having clients that have that, maybe that mindset, and maybe I try to help clients with that mindset, and make the world a better place, one person at a time, getting out of a shit show and going forward with optimism and a better mindset. And then they treat their family nice, just like what Arjan was saying. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
But Marge, let me ask you, you said success for you is time and money, right? Well, how much time? How much money? Right?
So
those are just so,
well,
what is your
taking
goal?
Oh, wait, we're
Taking
all
a 6
talking
week-
over each other. We're
Yeah,
all
sorry.
talking over each other. And what Tanya, what you're trying to get Marjorie to say is our definition of success, our definition of a successful law firm on how to manage a small law firm. And I want to make clear, this is not our prescription for success. This is not our prescription. This is not, oh, well, how to manage says it should be. This is not me telling you how you should define a successful law firm. This is me telling you that since 1999, this is all I've been doing. I spent 3 years where I worked with mid-sized law firms. And other than that, pretty much all I've been doing for my whole career since 1999 is working with thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of owners of small law firms. And I am reporting to you what I have observed. I'm reporting to you what I have experienced. I'm reporting to you what I have seen from the real world. And out in the real world, what I have seen thousands and thousands and thousands of times over again is that most people do not consider their law firm to be successful unless it satisfies and checks off at least 3 boxes. 1, it's got to serve you financially. It's got to give you enough income, consistent, predictable, reliable, dependable. You can plan your life around it. Income, enough income to live the way you want to live. It's got to serve you financially. 2, it's got to serve you personally. That means the law firm's got to be able to keep going and growing, and you have to be able to live your life with confidence, knowing that if you want to step away from your firm, or God forbid, you have to step away from your firm for an extended period of time, the whole thing's not going to come crashing down like what happened to me when my wife got sick, because I hadn't been practicing what I was preaching. Because when Allie got sick back in 2005, 2006, I had not put the kind of processes and systems and procedures and infrastructure into place in how to manage. I had not put those things into place. And I mean, the really fucked up thing is I had already built a pretty good reputation for myself, helping thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of lawyers put systems in place to transform their law practice into a sustainable business, but I hadn't followed my own advice. I was a complete asshole about it. I was stupid about it. I was emotionally and entrepreneurially not mature enough to follow my own advice. So what we mean by having a successful law firm is, number 1, financially, it generates enough consistent, predictable, reliable, dependable income for you to live the way you want to live. Number 2, it works consistently, predictably, reliably. Each of the 7 main parts of the business keep going and growing, even when you're away from the firm for a little or a long time. And 3 is it serves you professionally. That means you can use your law firm to make the kind of positive impact on the world that will make you feel good about the work you do. If the law firm only serves you financially, but the only way to make the money is by working with shitty clients who you hate on cases that you don't feel good about, I don't consider that to be a successful law firm. And I'll tell you from experience, it's not a sustainable law firm either. Because if you're just making money, but you got to work with clients you despise on cases that erode your soul, sooner or later, and more likely sooner than later, you're going to implode. And when you implode, the rest of the business will implode and the money will go away real fast. Also, if the firm is making lots and lots of money, but and let's say we get the processes and the systems and the procedures going, and you can be away from this money machine for weeks and months at a time every year with emergency access only, and you're making lots of money and the systems and the procedures are just working, but it's doing work that you're not proud of. It's not making the world a better place. I mean, that's no fun. That's not a successful law firm. As long as we're going to put the policies and the procedures and the system, as long as we're going to do all that, not sexy, boring stuff, let's at least do it in service of something that matters to you. Because when we can line up the professional satisfaction with the personal freedom and personal satisfaction, the money will follow every time, I promise you. That's what we mean by a successful law firm.
And to do that when you're starting a law firm, it's just an amazing place to be, to start the law firm. And you don't get stuck in the counterintuitive mindset of how can I do the business and not do casework, et cetera. And we didn't have policies and procedures or workflows or anything for 20 freaking years, and another thing is I'm making my firm more marketable if I ever want to sell it. And it wasn't marketable before. There's no way, right? Because I just can't imagine where I'd be had I started a law firm with what I've learned from HTM with HTM. But it's also the reality. I'm where I'm at, and I'm grateful to be where I'm at. And I love the people that come in HTM starting a law firm. I'm like, you are so fortunate to get on the ground, hit the ground running and learn this stuff now. It's amazing.
Hey, Marjorie, I want to let you know, I wish that I knew I wish that I knew the things that I now know when I was starting how to manage a small law firm.
Yeah.
I started how to manage a small law firm, 10 years ago, 15 years ago? What year is this?
This is 2026. It's
15 years?
2000. I mean, you could have 2007 on, yeah.
So 2000 gives me.
19 years.
Yeah, I've been doing this for 19. I started at the Florida bar in 1999, so that's been 25 years. 25 years.
27.
Depending on the month.
Oh God.
Are you a lawyer or something, Justin? Jesus.
He is a lawyer.
I
He is
know.
a
I was
lawyer.
being, that was called
How many
sarcasm.
ex-lawyers work at How to Manage?
None. They're all lawyers still. Once a lawyer, always a lawyer.
That's true.
Okay, but so Arjun and Marjorie, because I think this is important for people to hear who are starting. Are your goals the same now as when you started?
Absolutely not. I didn't even know it's kind of like when I got sober, what I thought I wanted was to stay living at one place more than a year, to have a car, and to finish college. And what I have and what I've done is so far beyond that. I just couldn't conceptualize it then.
Marjorie,
yeah.
if you could go back in time and say to, how old were you at that time when you were 23 years old, your big goal in life was to stay in one place for more than a year and have a car.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep. And finish school.
Yeah, and finish
And finish
college.
school.
Yeah, like,
If you could get in a time machine, or write a letter and send it back to 23-year-old Marjorie, what would you tell her?
I would tell her to, I don't know how to say this, to open up the floodgates as far as goals and dreaming and the future, because it's limitless. And it's what Marjorie could make it. It not waiting for things to happen, not doing what other people, expected or demanded, and not to shortchange myself. I would tell her she's on the right path. Getting sober is the foundation of going forward. And that I'm going to turn out really well.
You know,
freaking
Allie
out.
and I, my wife, for those of you watching who don't know, Allie is my wife. She's my co-founder. She's my best friend. She's my real partner in life and in this business. I don't think a month goes by that we don't find ourselves in some situation. We don't do this like every month on the third Wednesday at 3:00, we schedule to do this. We just let it happen kind of organically. And not a month goes by that we don't stop and just give gratitude and give thanks to the people we were when we made certain decisions about how we were going to live our life and how we were going to run this business, because it has given us a life that
Is beyond my wildest dremes.
If I let a camera crew follow me around for a month, and if I let a camera crew follow me around for 3 months, I would be one of those fucking assholes on social media. It's just, it's beyond what I'll be 55 years old this year. What did we say? I started this business
1999.
I started this business in 2006. How 2007. Well, that's the year we lost the house. Allie got sick. She recovered. My wife was sick. She recovered from a very serious long-term illness. She's fully recovered now. And we lost our house to foreclosure. And that was the environment in which we started how to manage a small law firm. And that was in 2006, 2007. I think it was 2006, 2007. So that was how many years ago did we say? 19 years ago?
No.
If I had said to the person that I was, so 19 years ago, I'm 55 this year, that was 45, 35. That means I would have been 36 years old.
Yeah.
I mean, I just have so much gratitude in my heart for 36-year-old Arjan. Because 36-year-old Arjan, he had no idea how hard this journey was going to be. And he had no idea how heartbreaking this journey was going to be. And he had no idea how disappointing some parts of this journey would be. But he also would have had no way of even understanding how worth it is. Oh my God, it's so worth it. And I'm not talking about the toys and the lifestyle and the fun. I'm talking about, like, for the first time in my life, about 5 or 6 years ago, I realized that for the first time in my life, I was truly comfortable in my own skin. And that comes from being able to live life on your terms. And as much as we want to act like it doesn't matter, we all know that to live life on your terms, it comes with an invoice. We know that. And you got to pay that bill. And having a successful business is what gives you the financial resources to tell people, no, thank you. I don't have fuck you money quite yet. just so we're clear.
No, thank you.
I have no thank you money. I have no thank you money. I don't have fuck you money yet. But no thank you money is pretty good. It's gonna be a new phrase. If that
No thank
becomes
you
a
money.
thing, I want everyone to remember
It was this day.
it was this day when I coined the phrase "no, thank you money."
No, you don't have
Audrey.
any. Yeah, go ahead.
So I asked you, what are 3 things you wish someone had told you when you were just starting your law firm? And one of them was take the financials seriously.
Yeah.
Why? You have an MBA. Of course, you can take the financials seriously, Marjorie. I don't have an MBA. I don't have a finance degree. I don't have a CPA behind my name. I can't take the financials seriously, Marjorie. That's terrible advice. That will never work for me. How do you respond?
Well, I respond with, I do have a bit of a math background. I like financials. I like numbers, but I didn't know how to put them together. And so I have a CFO who helps me do that and to take them seriously so I can plan, I can make goals. I can see where, if we're, we do weekly, I look at the numbers, and if we're behind in a goal or we're ahead of a budget, I can do a shift. And I couldn't do that before because I didn't know what our numbers were. Anytime during the year, if you said, what are your gross receipts so far? I'd say, I don't know. I got to go add up my bank statements. I have no idea, and also it shows you when you're doing things right, and it shows you when you're doing things not so right, and what you can learn from it.
Pivot and make micro adjustments
Exactly.
throughout the month or throughout the quarter, so you don't
Yeah.
wind up at the end of the year, 50 miles off course.
Exactly.
Right. Second, what was the second piece of advice you wish someone had given you before you started your law firm?
Putting in workflows and policies and procedures.
But that doesn't help clients, but that's not the practice of law, but I didn't go to law school to do that. That's not lawyer work. How do you respond to that?
Well, I'll tell you
whiny
this,
little-
it makes lawyer work a hell of a lot fucking easier. It makes client relations a hell of a lot better. It makes the work more predictable where it is in, say, the funnel or pipeline. It gives it's something to refer to when something comes up, a policy or procedure. Having it in writing or having videos on certain things teaches a new employee very quickly what your policies and procedures are. They are revisable. They can do micro or macro changes at any time. And
with an audit log.
I'm sorry.
With an audit log.
Yes. And ours have changed, and we just started with them when I joined HTM in 21 and in 22, and they're already changing. And then the workflow is like, something's not working. Well, let's change it. And if our change doesn't seem to be working, let's change it again, or let's revise it so that it works. It works for clients. It works for staff. It works for paralegals. It works for lawyers. It makes everybody's life easier. And knowing who does what by when is part of the workflow. And that's something I never did. I would ask someone to do something and I wouldn't tell them when it was due. I would ask for somebody to do it. Nobody would do it. It just makes it a business run smoothly rather than what feels right today.
Which is ultimately better for the clients, because the clients don't
Absolutely.
benefit when the law firm is drama.
Absolutely.
All right. Third thing you wish someone had told you before you started your own law firm. And then I'm going to go to the audience and ask for a vote to decide what we're going to do with the last 20 minutes of our time together.
Profit first. I would
Say
take
more.
I would take what was left
If
over.
only
So
someone had written a book entitled "Profit First for Lawyers."
I don't know.
Wouldn't
I
that be a
think
wonderful book to read?
I know someone.
I know someone. Arjan, I forget who wrote it with you, but it doesn't matter. Or
No
you
one
wrote
wrote
it
the
on
book
your
with
own.
me. I
I
wrote that
have it
myself.
here.
Not only did I write that book myself, but I wrote that before there was such thing as AI. I literally banged that book out letter for fucking letter on my computer in 9 days, I might add.
You type with 2 fingers? That's sad.
That was just
Last thing
demonstration.
I ever
Very
did was
demonstration.
start typing.
Just purposes only.
I've
But-
learned to type on a manual typewriter. Thank you very much.
Yeah, we heard that story.
Well,
That was a
so
good
I'll
did
tell
I.
you
You
again,
still need
right
more
now.
than 2 fingers.
I was in high school. I didn't graduate high school to 81. So yeah. Profit first. I always, my partners at the time too, we would see what was left over and take draws. And now I look at the gross receipts for the month and I take a percentage every month and I put it in a bank that's not my bank where I keep all the, I put it in a separate bank and it grows. And my intention last year was to fund my Italy trip without credit cards. And I did with my Profit First account and pay my taxes from my Profit First account. And this year my goal is to get some more savings. But I always thought I had to come last. I had to pay everyone first. And I didn't like to lay off staff because there's no money. We laid nobody got laid off during COVID, which I'm glad I did that. But now I take my profit first. And even, if I'm in a cash crunch, I got a line of credit and I take it and then I put it back. It's not a big deal. So that's what I wish someone would have told me starting out, that you just
You know what I do when I have to when I have to draw on the line of credit?
What?
That's income to the business, right?
Yeah.
I take my profits first,
Oh,
even with that.
that's what I'm doing this month. I have to draw down a little
I'm
bit.
not my
and-
business. I'm not my
Yeah.
business. My business works for me.
Right. Exactly. And that's what you taught me. You specifically taught me that. And I was debating this month to take profit first because I'm running into a cash crunch with everything that's due April 15th and 401k employer contributions and pay, everything's at the same time. But in any event, you had said in PPM, profit practical mindset, you gave that example. I didn't even ask the question because I learned from everyone else too, that's what you did. And you asked someone who was in the room, what do I do if I, I'm a little short, but do I take my profit first? And absolutely. And draw on the line of credit, and the line of credit
You
will
got to
get paid off.
separate yourself emotionally from your business.
Yeah.
The business is over there. The business has certain financial obligations. One of the financial obligations of the business is to pay all of its employees, right?
Yeah.
Well, I'm one of the employees of the business.
Mhm.
We all took corporate law. We all took corporations in first year of law school, right? The corporation is the corporation. It has certain assets that it owns. It has obligations. It has rights. The corporation has an obligation to pay its employees, and I'm one of them. And that business had better pay me if it wants me to show up and keep working.
And I
This is-
get a salary, but that's not my earnings. I take a profit.
Yeah.
I
Right.
wouldn't be doing this if I just got a salary.
And
We are 22 minutes until we are done for the day. Marjorie, I really appreciate your time here with us.
Thank you for having me.
You are thank you for being here, sincerely. Like, very, very much appreciate it. Just for the record, we didn't pay you to do this, right?
No, no, I volunteered readily and
We-
gladly.
Like, we asked you to pay it forward, and like all members of How to Manage a Small Law Firm, We have a strict no assholes policy. You will not find a more generous, a more helpful, a more celebratory group of law firm owners anywhere on the planet than when you come to a How to Manage a Small Law Firm event. So Marjorie, thank you for paying it forward and helping us out.
Thank you. for
Thanks,
giving me that
Marjorie.
opportunity.
Anything else you want to say before I teach the lesson on goal setting and key performance indicators?
I just want to say one thing that I really, really appreciate about HTM, and is that's the authenticity and the transparency that every firm owner that belongs to HTM has. And we talk real numbers. We talk about our gross receipts. We talk about this. We talk about that. And it puts everything into context than just saying, oh, my gross receipts are low or my gross receipts are higher or whatever. It just, for me, it puts it into context. And people are, there's people in HTM that are going through the same thing you are. They have ideas. They send you wonderful ideas. Carrie Schultz did that today, and PPM sent me some wonderful ideas. And just the support that comes through. And I'm not just, touting it to tout it. I'm serious, because if it didn't work and I didn't like it, I wouldn't be here. I mean, that's just, I don't do what I don't want to do usually. So I really, really have a lot of gratitude with HTM and the members and the owners and the C-suite and Arjan and Allie and Erica and Oscar and Tanya and et cetera, et cetera. So thanks for having me.
Thank
I
you,
appreciate you being
Marjorie.
here.
And listen, everyone, if you have questions that you want to ask Arjan, that you want me to weigh in on, we can even get more answers from Marjorie or any of our other members. Drop them in the chats. We're going to get them to you, okay? Because Arjan and I could probably talk forever, but we want to answer your specific questions. So let us know what they are or what you want to know more about. Arjan.
So let me say a few things
Yeah.
because we got a little off schedule. It's no big deal. We still have the rest of the week to cover all the material. Do we want to, I'm talking to everyone here. Do we want to, I can teach the lesson on goal setting and key performance indicators quickly. I mean, listen, I've been doing this for 25 years. I can do this as the 5-minute, 10-minute version of it. I can do it as the 25-minute version of it. I could do a 3-day workshop on the subject. There's enough to say. I think maybe what we should do, I'm just thinking out loud.
Yeah.
I think maybe what we should do is first, we have not yet committed to run a live, and by live, I mean on Zoom, every week, interactive, start a successful law firm in 90 days or less cohort. We have not yet committed as to whether or not we're going to do it. If we were to do it, we've got some dates tentatively protected on the calendar, and it would start with a 2-day live in-person, 2-day crash course. Take the first pass at drafting the business plan, the marketing plan, the intake plan, the sales conversion plan, the staffing plan, the key policy, the key internal policies, the key external policies, the key operating procedures, the basic foundations you need to start a successful law firm in 90 days or less. We would cover all that in a 2-day live crash course. And then every week for the next 12 weeks, we would teach the lesson deep and then get on a call live together and go over the homework and then teach the lesson deep. And then next week, go over the homework. And the lesson would be something you would listen to in a recording from when I taught this back in 2008 or 2009 or 2010 or something like that. The lessons still stand up. I promise you, the lessons still completely stand up. It's even a little bit comical and amazing when you listen to me teaching something from 2010 and maybe I make reference to like a television show or an actor or something. You're like, I don't even know who that is. But the lessons stand up. and we thought about reproducing the whole thing, but we realized that sharing the lessons from back in 2010, we thought would give you more confidence to know that the foundational, I mean, the basics or the foundations of the foundation, the things that make a law firm work are the things that make a law firm work, are the things that make a law firm work, are the things that make a law firm work. And so, you know, I was teaching this before Facebook existed. I was teaching this before really YouTube existed, I think. I was teaching this right around the time smartphones came out. I was teaching this before Instagram. I was teaching this before Facebook. I said Facebook already. I was teaching this before.
Not MySpace.
I was teaching this
Snapchat.
Before the people graduating law school were
I was
born.
teaching. Hey, listen, I want everyone to brace yourself. You ready? I was teaching lawyers how to build successful law firms before Clubhouse. Who could live without Clubhouse? Where's my Clubhouse? Oh my God, what am I going to do with? Remember Clubhouse? Do you even know what I'm talking about?
Nope.
Are you serious? You don't know? You know what I'm talking about. Clubhouse. Listen, Clubhouse.
So it's Twitter Spaces before Twitter Spaces did it.
Clubhouse was the, it is true, Clubhouse was the fastest growing online social media platform in the history of the world. It was. Between around 2020 and 2000 and mid 21, it was the hottest thing out there.
Yeah.
And you don't even fucking remember it.
I don't remember. I just know of it because of me hearing about it in Twitter Spaces.
Oh, I ran a whole thing, Clubhouse for Lawyers. I was teaching because I had to teach them, right?
Yeah.
This is why I'm not like, oh my God, AI. Oh my God, AI. Listen, AI is great. AI is wonderful. AI is a very powerful tool that will fuck you up bad if you don't understand how to use it. And we're going to be coming out. Have we decided that we're going to offer the webinar?
If you want me to do it, I'll do it.
The title of the webinar is tentatively 10 prompts you can use to determine if the person who is coaching, consulting, and teaching you about AI knows what the fuck they're talking about. 10 prompts you can use to determine if the person who's teaching you, coaching you, telling you all about AI actually knows what the hell they're talking about. There's some, anyway, the point I'm trying to make is, the point I'm trying to make,
Back to the program.
back to the program, you stand up here for 2 fucking hours.
We were
And-
talking about Clubhouse.
Hey, just
We're done with Clubhouse. Clubhouse is gone. The point I'm trying to make here, everyone, is we are not yet committed to whether or not we're going to bring this program back, how to start a successful law firm in 90 days or less. The part of the reason why we decided to do this live stream was to sort of gauge interest and take the pulse and see if people are really interested. So we're going to put out a survey tonight or tomorrow. We're going to put out a survey to get your feedback about whether there's interest in a program to bring together a cohort of only about 12 or 15. That's all we're looking for. The first 12 or 15, if there's enough interest, we'll do it. Maybe there's going to be lots of interest. Maybe I've underestimated it and there's massive interest, and maybe we got to do 2 cohorts. I don't know, but look for the survey and give us your feedback about if you're interested, if you would want to participate, if we did a program. And, we're going to ask for your feedback. Would you rather it take place on every Monday or every Wednesday or every Friday or every Saturday? Would you rather it take place at 3 o'clock in the morning or 4 o'clock in the afternoon? You get what I'm saying? So watch for that. That was a housekeeping item that I had to say. Now I'm going to,
We can either talk about goals or we can get to some comments because we have some questions in the comments.
Let me do this. With respect to the people who are asking comments, let me do this. Let me teach the lesson on goals just so I can get the lesson done
Yes.
for the people who came here to learn about goals, how to set goals. And I promise you, it's worth the wait. And for everyone who has questions, if we don't get to your questions live today, we will start the show tomorrow by answering your questions. And if you give us permission, let us know. This is what I'd like. If you give us permission, we'll say your name, we'll read your question, I'll answer your question. And if you were live with us again tomorrow, please be with us live tomorrow. And then you can ask follow-up questions and it can be more interactive. And maybe by tomorrow, Will and Justin can even figure something out where maybe some people can call in and we can actually hear your voice and we can actually have a real conversation. And it doesn't have to just be like me answering a chat. Okay. So let me just teach this thing and then we'll see if there's time for Q&A. Okay. Should I leave this here or move it?
I'm going to move the camera for you.
Yeah.
You're going to move the camera.
You move. Yes. You could.
So as long as you stay no further than there.
Will, you're tall. Hand that, put that up there. Put it high. All right, wait, one more. Want a leg up? All right, thank you. All right,
So as long as you kind of stay right there, you'll
All
be
right.
on the Instagram frame.
a successful law firm, in my experience, I am not giving this as a prescription. I'm not giving this as a recommendation. I'm not telling you this is how I would like it to be. I'm not telling you this is how you have to do it. I'm telling you that 25 years of experience working with tens and tens of thousands of law firm owners. This is my studied opinion of what it takes for a law firm to be successful. And I would challenge you to define success without addressing each of these three elements. Now, you can add more to it if you want, but I don't think you can call a law firm successful unless, number one, it serves you financially. We use a term called total owner benefit. Total owner benefit is made up of three components. It's going to be your W-2 salary or your draw, depending on if you're a C Corp, S Corp, or LLC. But basically, your W-2 is element 1 or A. Second is going to be your K-1 profits. This K-1 is the tax form that you report the profit of a business. Law firm, shoe store, doesn't matter. The K-1 is the form that you use to report the profits on. And C is what we call perks or owner benefits, or in the real world, we call it pass-through business expenses, because you have a tax strategist who helps you develop and devise strategies where the business can legally, ethically, professionally pay for things with pre-tax dollars, which saves you about 33%. So you add it all together and you get the total owner benefit. So let's say you're taking a $150,000 salary, and let's say you are taking a $50,000 of expenses that you run through the business, and let's say you report a $50,000, say $75,000 on K1, so $75,000, $150,000, and $50,000 is a total of how much? 50 plus 75 is 225. 225 plus 50 is 275. So this would be $275,000 in total owner benefit. And this is an important concept to understand, because here's what happens in the real world every day in bar association meetings everywhere you go. Let's say this law firm, just for argument's sake, is grossing $1 million. $275 or 275 would be 27.5% total owner benefit. Is this getting too messy for people to read?
Yeah, it's a little
You want me to rewrite it?
Yeah.
We use different colors.
W-2, let's say $150,000. K1 equals, let's say, $75,000. And we'll call it other. This would be the company car. This would be the business travel. Got something in my eye there. This would be the home office deduction. This would be, it adds up if you're smart about it. Let's just call this $50,000. That's $275,000. Now, if this firm is grossing, let's just call it $1 million. And by the way, I just want everyone to understand, I could have used $300,000 here, and we would just be talking about different numbers. I'm using $1 million just because it makes the math easier. We could be talking about 1 million, 10 million, 20 million on the top line gross revenue. We could be talking about 100,000, 300,000, 500,000 on the top line gross revenue. I'm using $1 million just to make it easier for us to all do math. Because while I might be financially literate, I'm not math literate, not that math literate. So this would be a 27.5% total owner benefit. Does it make sense?
Yes.
Are we all following along in the chat? Are they all following along? Because I'm about to switch gears. I don't want to switch gears and we're leaving. Everyone following along?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Can they still see that?
Yeah.
Not on Instagram. They
But
can't.
that's fine.
Yeah.
All right. Well, people on Instagram have a good memory. They know what I just did.
Yeah.
All right. Now, here's the thing. You get another firm that's also grossing $1 million. And the K1 is $200,000. And the W-2. The W-2 is $200,000. Yeah.
Mhm.
And the K1 is $125,000. And the other is still $50,000. Total 200 plus.
125.
Wait, I did the math wrong. 75 plus. Oh, I'm sorry. 75 minus 50 is 25. 200 plus 25 is 225. Plus 50 is 275. Still 275 or 27.5% TOB. And I'm going to give you one more example, and we're going to see if everyone at home is paying attention. And you can catch this. Also, a firm with $1 million of gross revenue. And remember, gross revenue is a good measurement. It's a pretty reliable measurement of how much value a law firm is producing and delivering to its clients. $1 million law firm, for all things being equal, $1 million law firm is producing and delivering twice as much value to its clients as a $500,000 law firm. A $500,000 law firm is producing twice as much value as a $250,000 law firm. So for everyone who's going around saying, I really care about helping more people, I really care about helping more people, I really care about helping more people, but I don't care about the money, how do you think the $1 million law firm got to be $1 million law firm unless it helped twice as many people as a $500,000 law firm? If you ask that question, lawyers will begin to reveal their ignorance about the business of running a law firm by the implausible, ridiculous, fantastically immature answers they give you. In the real world, the only way that $1 million law firm generates $1 million, $1 million, $1 million, $1 million year after year after year after year, predictably, reliably, dependably, is by delivering $1 million worth of value to its clients. That's how $1 million law firm generates $1 million of revenues, by delivering $1 million of value to its clients. A $500,000 law firm delivers $500,000 of value to its clients. And every owner of every $500,000 law firm who wants to argue that my law firm delivers just as much value as the person with the $1 million law firm, it's kind of like the fourth grader arguing to the eighth grader, the fourth grader. It's just ridiculous. Anyway, I'm not going to get sidetracked again. Sorry. The $1 million law firm. We're with this, right? We got the $1 million law firm. We got the $1 million law firm that's got W-2 salary of $150,000, K-1 profits of $75,000, other benefits of $50,000, $275,000 in total owner benefits, or 27.5%. Yes, you got that? Is it better if I do it down here?
Yeah, it's good.
You got the second law firm, the red law firm, that's got $1 million in gross revenue, $200,000 in W-2 salary, as opposed to $150,000 in W-2 salary, $25,000 in K-1 profits, as opposed to compared to $75,000 in K-1 profits, and $50,000 in other compared to $50,000 in other. $275,000 total, $275,000 total, 27.5%, 27.5%. Yes?
Yes.
Okay. Now, we got the $1 million green is going to have $100,000 of total owner benefit. It's going to have $200,000 in K-1 profit. And it's also going to have, let's say, $50,000 in, actually, you know what? It's going to have $150,000. And it's going to have 0 in other. You with me?
Yeah.
150. Oh, so there's a 25.
25.
and other.
You want 20?
No, 275. 200. This is going to be 75,000.
Yeah, that makes it work with 0.
$75,000 in W-2. This is how you know we're live and not AI generated, because what kind of fucking idiot would use AI to be that fucking bad at math? $1 million in gross revenue, $75,000 in W-2 salary, $200,000 in profit, and nothing in terms of business expenses is a total of $275,000 or 27.5%. They can see this down here.
Yeah.
and they can see this up here.
Yeah, can you just move the pen cup out of the way and they'll be able to see that better. Perfect.
They can see all this.
Yep.
All right. Now, here's the thing I want everyone to pay attention to. You got lawyer. Can I use this color? Will they see this color? Lawyer A.
No.
Okay.
Black.
Can they see this color?
Yeah, they'll be able to see that.
They see lawyer A, lawyer B, and C. They all have $1 million in gross revenue. All of their firms have the same practice area. It doesn't matter. They all deliver $1 million of value to clients. Yeah? Lawyer A goes around saying that I have 25%. I'm sorry, says I have 2.5% profit. Yeah? $25,000 is 2.5% of $1 million. So lawyer A says I have 2.5% of profit. Lawyer B says I have 20% profit. And lawyer C says I have 7.5% profit. You with me?
Yes.
Now, these three lawyers are at their local bar association. And lawyer A reports honestly and accurately, I reported 2.5% of profit on my K-1 taxes. I had 2.5% profit law firm on my $1 million law firm. 2.5% profit on a $1 million law firm? How bad are you? Except they don't say, how bad are you at the business of running a law firm? They say, you must be a shitty lawyer, since we all know that profits follow how good of a lawyer you are. I mean, this is what people say. I'm not saying it's true. I'm not saying I agree with it. I'm saying this is what we know people think. Lawyer B says, I have 20% profit. Therefore, I must be a better lawyer than you. And lawyer C says, I have 7.5% profit. And so I will just keep my mouth shut and stay out of this argument. Yeah? Which of these three lawyers do you think is going to be holding court at the bar at the local bar association meeting? In the chat, which lawyer do you think, which lawyer do you know will be holding court and offering all kinds of advice on marketing? Oh, what marketing vendor do you work? I got to work with your marketing vendor because you got 20% profit and I only have 2.5% profit and I only have 7.5% profit. Oh, what do you think I should do about my staffing ratios? Because you Obi-Wan Kenobi, are running a firm with 20% profit. And I, Amir Padawan, am running a firm with only 7.5% profit. And I, Amir Peon, only have 2.5% of profit. And what do you think that I should do with my policies and my procedures? And what do you think what do you know is going to go down at the bar association? Who do you know is going to be Mr. Big Shot?
Bullshitter.
What are they saying in the chat?
Couple B's, 1 C, 2 A's.
Wait. Why is C? I think they got their numbers mixed up. Why is C?
Because the answer is always C. I think that's the reason why. They just went through life. The answer is always C.
Is that really true? The answer being C? Okay.
So can I answer, Archon?
No. Who do you know everyone's going to be listening to?
B.
B. They're all going to be listening to B. Is B dishonest? No. B really generated $1 million in revenue. A, B, and C all really actually generated $1 million in revenue. Their firms really honestly helped $1 million worth of clients last year. Good for them. There's $1 million worth of clients who are $1 million better off than they would have been without these three $1 million law firms. And they each honestly and accurately report their K1, and they each honestly and accurately report their other, right? And yet their total owner benefit is exactly the same. Total owner benefit is what gives you the vocabulary that you need to have an intelligent, informed discussion about law firm profits. If someone talks about what are your profit goals for your law firm, you have to say, do you mean my W-2 salary and my K1 and everything that I plan to run through my business on top of that all together as a total owner benefit? Or do you mean that you want to know about my tax strategies and how my tax strategies are going to dictate that I divide up my $275,000? Because I am using a tax strategy right now where I want to minimize my K1 and maximize my W-2 salary because I'm trying to qualify for disability benefits or other things like that. And so I have a tax strategy that has me shifting my income from one category to another. And someone else has a tax strategy where they, where there's more evenly balanced, and maybe someone else has a tax. Really, this person doesn't have a tax strategy at all. That one just doesn't have. What you know about B is that B has no tax strategy whatsoever. So when you're taking marketing advice and sales advice and staffing advice and life advice and investment advice from this one, you're taking advice from someone who has no tax strategy whatsoever. So you got to know this. So yes, Tanya?
Well, I was just going to say, because we're talking about tax strategy and people who are taking out, $250,000 plus in TOB, but for somebody who's just starting their law firm, like realistically, what should they be taking out and what should they be looking at for a profit for themselves?
I'm not answering that question because anyone who answers that question is a fucking liar. So I'm not falling for that trick. Thank you very much. I'm putting this over here, which is the whole point of this session. The point of this session is that there's no right number. There's no wrong number. What we need to know is how much does it cost to live the way you want to live? How much does it cost to live the way you want to live? The way you want to live, not the way you'll settle for, not what you can compromise on, not what you can put up with, not what you can do without. How do you want to be living your life? What kind of home do you want to be living in, let's say 36 months from now? What kind of car do you want to be driving 36 months from now? What kind of vacations do you want to be taking 36 months from now? If you have parents that you're providing some financial support for, how much financial support do you want to be providing for your parents 36 months from now? What kind of education do you want to be providing for your children 36 months from now? What kind of domestic services do you want to be enjoying 36 months from now? If you are philanthropic, which I encourage you to be, how philanthropic do you want to be? How much of a philanthropic impact do you want to have 36 months from now? How much does it cost to live the way you want to be living 36 months from now? How much does it cost to be living the way you want to be living 36 months from now? Now, back in the days when I was going around the country on the national CLE speaking tour, I was sponsored by LexisNexis and Microsoft and LawPay and Ruby Receptionist, and I traveled all over the country for almost 4 years talking about the business of how to run a successful law firm. And I would ask these audiences, thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of lawyers over these 4 years, how much does it cost to live the way you want to be living? And after thousands and thousands and thousands of people would give me answers that made no sense, and I would challenge them on it and ask them to explain. And they would say, well, I don't really need to have that big of a house. Okay, but I didn't ask you what you need. I asked you what you want. and then they say, well, you know, I could do without a new car. I didn't ask you what you could do without. I asked you what you want. Well, you know, it's not so bad to be. I didn't ask you what's so bad. I'm asking what you want. What do you want? Because you're not going to get what you want without helping other people. So to say that I can tolerate, to say that I can put up with, to say that I'm willing to live with $100,000 of income when I could be earning $300,000 of income is the same thing as saying I could help 3 times more clients, but instead I'm only going to help 1 time as many clients. I'm going to help as many clients as I need to earn $100,000, even though I have it in me to help 3 times as many clients so I can earn $300,000. And then people say, well, you know, I don't really want to work that hard because, you know, I'm a good parent. I love my kids. I don't want to kill myself. Hold on a second. Who said anything about that? I just asked, tell me honestly, how much does it cost to live the way you want to live? Don't make up a bunch of stories about how you think it's going to happen. Don't create a whole bunch of limiting beliefs about how you think it's going to happen or what it's going to take, because respectfully, you don't know anything about the business of how to manage a small law firm. You don't know anything about the mechanics involved. I'm only asking you what you want. Now, if you tell me the way I want to live is going to cost $10 million a year, and I want to go from $0 in gross revenue to $10 million a year of income in 36 months or less, I will say to you, okay, I can show you. Don't fucking laugh. I'm being serious. I can completely show you how to do it. You just have to be prepared to buckle up and do some really excruciating stuff between now and 36 months from now. If you tell me that you want to be earning $10 million a year in total owner benefit and you'll give me 10 years to make that happen, I can make that happen and it won't be as excruciating. My point is this. The A+ number one most important thing to do when starting a law firm, which is what very few lawyers have the courage to do, is to answer this enormously simple question. Have the courage to be honest with yourself about how much it costs to live the way you really want to be living. You tell me how much it costs to live the way you really want to be living, then I can give you options. I can say, okay, to make that much total owner benefit within 36 months, we'll take this, that, and the other from you. Are you willing to give it this, that, and the other? And if you say yes, let's go do it. If you say, no, I'm not willing to do those things, okay, either I have to give you a different way of getting it done, or we have to change your goal. But please, don't set dishonest goals right out of the gate. It's much easier to achieve a goal that really, truly, deeply matters to you. It's much easier to achieve a goal that you have a burning desire for, because that goal that you have a burning desire for is going to cause you to vibrate at a certain frequency. It's going to cause you to bring a certain level of energy. It's going to cause you to bring a certain level of focus. It's going to cause you to bring a certain level of, I'm not going to take anyone's fucking bullshit that stands in the way of me achieving this goal. When you have a goal that really matters to you deeply, you become focused and you don't put up with shit, not from other people. And you give me what I need to make sure you don't give yourself those bullshit excuses either. On the other hand, when you set some laxity days ago bullshit. Well, it'd be nice. And I don't really, it'd be nice, but I don't really care that much about it kind of a goal. As soon as things get hard, and they're going to get hard, as soon as things get uncomfortable, and they will be uncomfortable at certain points along the way. As soon as you get knocked on your ass or fall on your face, you are going to sit there if you don't really give a shit about the goal. On the other hand, if you are committed to that goal, if that goal really fucking matters to you, if that goal lights your ass on fire, if that goal resonates with you, if that goal makes you vibrate, then nothing's going to get in your way. And when it does, you're going to go through it. And when you can't go through it, we're going to go around it. And when we can't go around it, we're going to find a way over it or under it. We're going to find a way to make it happen, but only if the goal really matters to you. So have the courage to be honest with yourself about how you really want to be living your life, and then do the math and do the research and do the investigation and do the cross-examination and do the interrogatories and do the direct examination and do the research and do all the same fucking things you would do for every one of your clients, and do it for your fucking future, and figure out what does it cost to live the way you want to live. And let's put a number to it. And then we can build strategies. And then we can build tactics. And then we can make plans. And then we can start taking action. And then we can measure progress. And that's how we can help you achieve your goal. That's how you make goals that matter. That's how you make goals that propel you, that draw you to them, that light you on fire and make you run to them, and don't let you cop out on yourself. That is the most important thing of all the things I could ever teach you about the business of running a law firm, is making sure you set financial goals, make sure you set personal goals, and make sure you set professional goals that are going to matter enough to you that you're going to be willing to do the hard work. And it will be some hard work along the way. There will be some setbacks along the way. There will be wrong turns. There will be holes you step in that we got to pull you back up out of. You will get knocked in your ass. You will fall on your face. Other people will laugh at you. People will criticize you. People will try to tell you to slow down. People will try to tell you to, not be so committed. People will tell you all kinds of shit to relieve their own anxiety, to make themselves feel better, and they'll sell out your future. They'll try to convince you to sacrifice your future to make them feel better. But when you got a goal that really matters to you, and we understand clearly why it really matters to you, and you got a team of advisors around you who aren't going to let you off the hook, they're not going to let you forget what your goal is. They're not going to let you sell yourself out. They're not going to let you sell yourself short. And they know the mechanical tactics of step 1, step 2, step 3. Put one foot in front of the other. Keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going. And they've guided hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of people down this path before. So they've got all the tools, all the resources, all the checklists, all the templates, and they can put you in a room with hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of people who have done it before, and they can tell you, pinch me, I'm just like you. I was where you are. This is where I am now, and you can do it too. But none of that is possible if you don't set real goals, because people who have achieved their real goals, they don't want to put up with people who aren't honest. They don't want to listen to people who don't have honest, sincere. If your goals don't make you uncomfortable, they're not real goals. And real people who have really done this in the real world, they don't have a lot of patience for people who don't have the courage to be authentic and transparent and honest about what they really want and why you really want it. My team is telling me we are out of time. We got to go. If they keep putting their questions in
We'll
the,
answer them tomorrow.
but even after we stop going live in a minute,
Yep.
they can keep putting their questions in,
Yep.
and we'll
We'll
take
answer
the
tomorrow.
questions tomorrow. If you got questions, any questions you've got about how to start a successful law firm, if you've got questions about, I'm not sure I can start a successful law firm because I'm too old. I'm not sure I can start a successful law firm because I'm too young. I'm not sure I can start a successful law firm because I just graduated from law school 5 minutes ago, and I don't think that I have enough experience practicing law. I don't think I can start a successful law firm because I haven't even passed the bar exam yet. I don't think I can start a successful law firm because my city is too big and there's too much competition. I don't think I can start a successful law firm because my city is too small and there isn't enough big enough market. I don't think I can start a successful law firm because I don't have enough working capital to get it started. I don't think I can start a successful law firm because I've gone online and there's too many competitors doing digital marketing. I don't think I have a successful law firm because you don't understand. I've got kids and I need to take care of my kids. And that's why I can't start a successful law firm. I can't start a successful law firm because I myself personally have special needs that I need to attend to. I can't start a successful law firm because my spouse or significant other isn't on board with the idea just yet. I can't start a successful. Are you starting to get the idea? I've heard it all. If you don't like butter pecan ice cream, I have to tell you, you're fucked. It's the best. And if you don't like it, then, I mean, I'll try. I'll try to help you start a successful law firm. But first, I gotta go all the way back and teach you the basics of Star Trek, the difference between Star Trek and Star Wars. I gotta introduce you to fucking, I mean, Jesus, how do you not know The Conversation by Hank Williams Jr.? How did you fucking live this long?
I'm gonna play it for him when we shut down
Okay,
the stream.
no, we're gonna do this right now. We're gonna get this out of the way right now. Yes, we are. Yes, we are.
Tomorrow.
No, don't turn that off. Listen. I have to educate you people.
You're gonna get this video.
I am
taken
not-
down.
You have no fuck.
We're gonna get.
Do you think that I don't know what the fuck I'm doing? You think that you think I built a $30 million business and I don't know shit from ass? Pay attention. Take some notes. I don't see you taking notes.
We can't on principle because you have to go. Brad, this is you at this point.
We're ending this live stream.
You are not ending this live stream. Hank, let's talk about your daddy. That's going to get us off of fucking kicked
Are
out.
you gonna read the lyrics?
What the fuck do you think? I'm an idiot? I don't understand what trademark and copyright is. How stupid do you think I am? Like, for real? Come on, man. This isn't my first fucking rodeo.
Read it.
Oh, now I can read it? Thank you for giving me permission,
One,
young Padawan.
3.
You're off.
I'm off.
No.
No.
You don't want to play this game.
Yeah.
Hey, let's talk about I'm sorry. Let me do this. Renee, let's talk about your daddy. Tell me how your mama loved that man. Renee will then say, well, let's just break out a bottle, Hoss. I'll tell you about the Drifting Cowboy Band.
How are we gaining viewers right now? I don't understand this.
We won't talk about the habits, just the music and the man. That's all. Now, Renee, you just got to tell me, did your daddy really write all them songs? Did he? That don't deserve no answer, Hoss. Let's just light up and move along. Do you think he wrote them about your mama? About the man who done her wrong? You know that. Yeah, back then they called him crazy. I want you to pay attention to
I'm
this.
kidding.
If this doesn't touch your soul,
I don't have a soul.
I got a couple of those songs that might, but if those don't, you're done. Yeah, back then they called him crazy. Now they call him a saint. Now the ones that called him crazy are still writing on his name. Do I see a tear welling up in your eye?
Maybe a small one.
The day is going to come when someone is going to have a conversation with Renee, who just for the record is 4 years old. And they're going to say, tell me about your dad. And they're going to say, yeah, back then when he had the audacity, when he was that crazy rebel lunatic who turned his back on all his family's bullshit, self-limiting beliefs and went out and created this life. And that back then they called him crazy. And now they call him a saint because the wealth he built subsidizes the lifestyles of all those fucking assholes who gave him shit and told him quit, turn back. And now those motherfuckers are writing on his name.
Amen.
A fucking men is right. That's what's writing on your name. That's what's possible when you start a law firm. Look, everyone's going to call you crazy. Everyone's going to say, you can't leave a good job. That's too risky. Let me tell you, when your income is double, triple, quadruple what you're earning working for a big law firm or a mid-sized law firm or working for someone else, or even if your income is just the same, but you got freedom and you can be away for days, weeks, even a month or two at a time with emergency access only. And while you're gone, each of the 7 main parts of your law firm keep going and growing and keep going and growing. And you can really be there for your family. I nursed my wife back to health and lost my house in foreclosure in the process because I didn't have a sustainable business. This is part of the reason I get so worked up. You asked me earlier why I get so worked up about this. I get so worked up about this because I know what it feels like to be sitting there and have to make this excruciating decision. Am I gonna be here for the love of my life and take care of my wife and nurse her back to health? Or am I gonna figure out a way to pay the mortgage? Because you know what? You can get another house, you can get another car, you can get another thing. You can't get another person. And when you learn how to build the business the right way, when you learn how to run the business that you've got the right way, the money is easy to replace. The stuff is easy to replace. Better than that is building a business where you don't have to make these gut-wrenching, heartbreaking, excruciating decisions about being there for the people you love, being the best version of yourself versus bringing home the bacon. This is what I mean by building a successful law firm. And without, I'm out.